Hey, good afternoon everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just doing a quick review of a really cool mounting kit for recovery boards. If you're like me and have recovery boards, which I picked up these ones from Bunker Industries, and you want to be able to mount them to your Jeep but also have them not get stolen, then Bunker Industries themselves has their own track mount kit that you can install, and it's lockable. So that way when you leave your Jeep and all your gear on it, it's secure and you don't worry about someone coming along with sticky fingers. So today I'm gonna quickly unbox this for you, show you how it installs, and then I also picked up the Bunker Industries recovery boards themselves, so that it would be a seamless fit. But these should be universal and they should fit with a variety of brands if you don't have the Bunker Industries recovery boards. With that being said, let's go.
What's up everybody? My name is Tyler and this is Let's Go Off-Road. For the last year and a half, this Jeep Gladiator has taken us to some awesome trails on the road and off the road. This product, as well as many other Bunker Industries products, can be found on Amazon.com, or you can go to their website directly to see what other products they have for your off-roading needs. This video is being sponsored by Bunker Industries today, as they sent me this recovery track mounting kit, and it is something that I am excited to be putting on the Jeep today. I hope you leave any comments below if you have any questions.
Comes with, looks like a user guide mounting kit. Very handy. Check this out in a second. Comes with all the parts and pieces. Looks like these are where the actual board mounts. It's pretty cool. Spring loaded. And I'm curious to see the locking mechanism. And the other thing that's cool that I failed to mention in the beginning is this does come with a tool mount. So if you have a shovel or some sort of round handled tool that you want to attach, not only does it come with the mount for your recovery boards, it comes with the tool mount as well, and I'll show you what that looks like once it's installed. But that's just the second feature of this. That's pretty cool. Looks like there's the baggie of hardware. Simple paddle lock, combo lock, make that work. Might have to pick up a waterproof one with the weather. It's pretty cool spring-loaded things that hold your boards in. Now with everything out of the box, let's get this thing out of the way. Before you throw your box away, make sure you check everything. I did find these guys in there, so don't throw that box out until everything is put together. So when I'm putting this together, I'm literally gonna be going by the install instructions in this booklet. And so I'll tell you how clear, how easy it is based off of these instructions as we go through. I'm not gonna be using YouTube or anybody else. I'm gonna be using pretty much what's in these install instructions. So the first step is going through all of these parts, part number 1, 9, 12, and 8. What's really cool is if you're like, I'm not sure what 9 and 12 are referencing in terms of the specific hardware, on the very first page, they break down everything for you in this table. So you know that number 9 is an M6 nut, and number 12 should be the shovel holder bracket, so that you can go to those specific parts themselves and pick them out. So I'll make sure to have those so we can start working on step number 1. So these are the 4 parts that you need. You've got an M6 bolt, M6 nut, shovel holder bracket, and the actual mounting bracket here. So we're gonna go ahead and attach this guy per the instructions, making sure that this clip side is facing down towards the bottom of the mount bracket. Just a quick thing to point out, a mistake I've already made, is that these are M6 bolts and so are these, but these ones, as you can see, are quite a bit longer than the one in my right hand. There's only 2 of these where there are 6 of these. You're gonna be using these longer ones to attach these shovel mount brackets or 2 mount brackets, the actual mount brackets of your recovery boards. And with that, the first step is done. You can see here that this shovel mount is now attached. Once you have one done, you repeat the exact same process for the other mounting bracket and shovel mount in terms of getting it mounted on. All right, the next step we're gonna do is take the mounting plate and attach it to the mounting bracket itself. According to the instructions, you take the mounting plate and it simply fits on like that. When you're here, you can see that it tells you to use number 9 and number 7 hardware. Number 3 is the actual mounting plate. It's going back. We see number 9 is the M6 nut and the 7 is the M6 bolt, which is probably the one I got the first time. So we'll go ahead and grab those and get those fastened. And there you go, that's all mounted up, hardware in place. We'll go ahead and repeat the same step for the other one. With that, you got both of them ready to go. Now let's move on to the next step. All right, so the next step here is gonna be attaching these bolts to the mounting plates. You're gonna use the M6 bolt with the washer, and they simply feed behind, and these thread right onto that. So you'll repeat this for all four and get them loosely on here. Hand tight should be good enough. Crank them down later. All right, so these are now hand tight. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step. What remains in our hardware box are 4 more M6 bolts and 4 square nuts that are gonna be used to mount the actual mounting plates to the platform you're gonna mount them onto your vehicle. All right, so when we actually look at the instructions, they do a really good job about giving you the square nuts to fit into a standard T-channel that you might find on your overland rack or bed rack. My current setup has those T-channel, but just the way I have it configured, it necessarily won't fit the way they have this design. It's no fault of Bunker Industries, it's just the way I have my setup right now. So what I'm gonna be doing is installing it in a different manner than they put in the instructions. But I do just wanna point out that these square nuts and these M6 bolts are perfect for any T-channel in a roof rack. It's just unfortunate that my specific design of my roof rack doesn't necessarily fit with this. But the nice thing about these mounting brackets is you can make it work even if you don't have the standard T-channel and setup that most overland racks have. So with that being said, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna get this guy mounted. So as you can see here, if I were to mount these on the T-channel like the T-channel is designed, this square nut that they provide you is perfect because it just slides into the open spot. And then of course you can slide that down and this would mount perfectly into that channel. I don't wanna have the recovery boards blocking the access to the top part of my bed or the bottom part here. And if I were to try and mount it up top there, I just don't simply have the spacing I need to line up the holes with the Bunker Industries mount. And again, that's not the mount's fault, and it's not really the bed rack's fault, it's just the way that this one's designed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna flip it upside down and attach it to a pre-existing hole on my bed rack here. And eventually, I'm gonna get some spacers and I'm gonna remove them and I'm gonna set them down on top of my bed rack here, just so that they're facing like this. I'm just gonna need a little bit of longer hardware and a spacer to hold this up, but that way they will function as designed and bolt right into this T-channel like Bunker Industries intends. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and get this guy installed in this mounting place that I've got. So as you can see, this is my new mounting spot. I've got it bolted on upside down from the way they tell you to do it, but this is just simply because of my bed rack design. As you can see here, there's no real T-channel on the sides to have it mount. So this is the option I've got for right now. I don't hate it. It doesn't look too bad. I just hope that it's secure enough because I'm only using one of their mounting spots and not the second spot back here. So that's the only downside to my current solution. All right, to make sure we've got our spacing correct between this one that's not been mounted and the one we just did, I'm gonna have to open up the actual boards themselves and see where they fit onto these bolts with these quick release tabs here. So let's go ahead and open up this package and see what we've got. So what you get with the recovery tracks, obviously recovery tracks themselves, you get a cool little bottle opener that's in the shape of a recovery track. That's pretty neat. You get some straps, looks like to hold the recovery tracks together, and then a cool storage bag that we won't need because obviously we're mounting them outside. All right, so now that we've got these, I think we're gonna be using these 2 mounting points, one on this end, one over here. We're gonna go ahead and get this up on the Jeep so we can see where we need to put the next mounting bracket so that these holes will align. So we got this one mounted just to see our spacing. We're using one of the quick releases to hold it in place, but this will give us an idea of where to put this guy on the actual straightaway that you can see there. So let's go ahead and figure out where this one's gonna go. And with a quick dry fit, you can see under here that I've got a bunch of different spots to mount. I figured out that it mounts in this one and this hole right here underneath. So that's the correct spacing. What's also interesting to note is that when you mount the actual recovery tracks on here, there is the right side and a wrong side of the recovery tracks when you're putting them on here, which I'll show you here in a second. Once we get to that step, I'll show you, but let's go ahead and get this other mount added to the second spot. So now that we've got both mounts up, like I said before, there is a right side and a wrong side of the recovery track board to be using. If you look at these mounting holes right here, notice how there's a ridge right here. It's not gonna sit flush. So this would be the wrong side. On the contrast, if you look at the other side, these two holes are here and there's a nice clear valley in between these peaks. That's the nice spot that will mesh perfectly into the mounts that we were given. So key thing is the mounting holes sit in a valley, that's the right side. Mounting holes sit on ridges, that's the wrong side. So we're gonna go ahead and throw these up. I'm gonna show you what it looks like after they're installed. Once you got these installed, you use your 4 locking pins that are provided. These just go right over the top of the threads. They go on. You screw them in, you'll see them pop back out. That's how you know they're locked in, just like that. And that thing is not going to come off with those on there. Now, how you lock this on so somebody can't come along and just pop these off is there's an actual little spot right here that you can use a padlock that they provide you. You just lock that in place and that keeps these from being depressed. So then someone can't just come along, depress it, and then remove everything that's behind. That's a pretty cool feature about this. That's what I really like about Bunker Industries is that this specific mount, you can lock, you can park your Jeep downtown, not worry about somebody coming up and taking it. Of course, it's a padlock. People could cut those with bolt cutters. So it's not foolproof, but it's definitely better than just leaving it on the Jeep and not having any security mechanisms on it, that being said. There will be a link in the description below for this, and there'll be a link for the actual recovery tracks as well. So if you want to check those out, use those links in the description below. They help the channel. If you have any questions or comments moving forward and want to know how these work in the wild, I will definitely put that out there in a future video when we need to use them. I'm just glad we have them with the Jeep, no matter where we are, so that we have them in the event that we need to get out of a sticky situation. All right, guys, so we'll see you in the next one. Let's go. That's weird, dude. It's cringe. Super cringe.